Hello, welcome to a new video. How to approach success. In this video, I want to discuss that, and this is regardless of what is your personal definition of success, because there are different ways to look at it. And the reason I'm making this video is because I wish someone had told me this when I was younger, so that I could have made progress myself quicker and easier. Which brings me to my first point. Success is personal. Everyone is going to have their own idea about what success means to them because of their perspective, their experiences, their upbringing, their own beliefs. From childhood, we have other people imposing their own opinions on us, what they think would be considered success. For example, having certain amount of money, having certain social status. So in the end, everyone will have their own idea of what success means to them. So you have the opportunity to define and decide yourself, and that is a good thing. Sometimes people are also competing with each other and kind of going after goals that perhaps they do not necessarily want, but there is that competitive element to it. In that case, I would ask, when you are alone, just think, is that really making you happy, or is it more ego-driven and unnecessary? For example, we probably all have heard having lots of money being considered as success. And this doesn't matter whether this resonates with you or with me, it's just an example. Another example can be running a marathon. Now, there are people who have lots of money, but when I consider other aspects that come with that and other aspects of their life, by my measure of success, it's not how I envision my success. And likewise, I had a time in my life where I had more money than at another time, but my level of happiness and success was lower than at the time when I actually had more money. So this is going to vary for people. In the end, if you're going after something that you don't really want, what's going to happen when you get it is, well, the feeling of satisfaction and happiness is not going to be there. The second point I want to mention in this video is how we measure success. So I mentioned the two examples about having money and marathon. Now, one way to measure success in this case, for these examples, would be to say, until I have a certain amount of money in my bank account, or until I physically complete the marathon, I don't have success. Now, if I were to summarize this whole video, I would say that I consider success to be a balance between reaching the destination and also enjoying the journey. If you want to run a marathon, by becoming that person that shows up to training, that creates a plan for how they are going to prepare for the marathon, you are becoming that person who is capable of running a marathon. You have not run it yet, but you are becoming that person. So it is about keeping in mind the destination that you want, but it is also about the journey, the process, enjoying the process, because it is a continuous process. Completing the finish line at the end is just a moment that's going to come and pass by very quickly. So I think it's important to focus on feeling the satisfaction and the happiness during the journey instead of just focusing only on the destination. And I think this is also a difference between goals and success. I think of goals as just a target. It's a target to tick off. Once it's done, we can tick it off. But success is really, yes, it's about reaching your destination that you want to reach, that you have defined yourself. But it is also looking at the process more holistically. It is also about feeling happy and fulfilled during the journey. Because if you reach a goal but you feel miserable, which can be the case, do you really consider yourself successful in that case? I doubt it. However, with that said, I do think it's a balance, because if you're starting at A and your destination is B, it's a balance of reaching point B but also enjoying that journey. If you reach B and you are miserable, as I said, you will not consider that to be success. At the same time, if you're at A and you never move forward, you don't have micro steps forward, you don't have small milestones, right? And you are always in the same place, then also it's difficult to consider that to be success. So I think it's a balance of both. Of course, we can often have a fear of failure, right? So the opposite of success. Now, I will address it quickly. I think if you never quit, you never fail. And there's no losses, there's only lessons. I think if you have that mindset, you can always move forward. And the reason I think also the journey, so the day-to-day, how you feel on the day-to-day is so important, because once you reach point B, what's going to happen is you will most likely continue the journey, or you will start a new journey. So really you are always on a journey, right? You are always trying to get somewhere. And that's why I think with having success comes also that feeling of happiness and also expansion. This is not to say that you have to feel or that you will feel happy 24/7, because of course with reaching success, with reaching your goal, there is also discipline. So to give an example, in my case, some years ago, as part of my fitness journey, there was a time where I was living in a small town, and for me to get to the gym, I had to travel for like 1 hour with a bus or bike. And it was also a pretty rainy area, so I was often arriving there a bit wet. Did I enjoy that? No, I did not enjoy that, to be honest. So there will be ups and downs in the ride, but as long as overall you think of ways to make the journey a positive one, enjoyable one, and you're feeling that satisfaction, that's what's going to make you feel successful overall. So, to summarize the video, 4 steps. 1. Define your own personal definition of success based on your own values. Make sure you know where you want to drive. Number 2. How to approach success, how to measure success. Keep in mind the end destination, but also count the small steps in between, because that is what's going to keep you going forward. And every journey is going to be different, so you always have to find ways to make it an enjoyable one. But there is always a way to make it enjoyable. So think about it and focus on the journey and not just the destination. Number 3, if you never quit, you never fail. Number 4, your definition of success can change. You may change your direction, you may continue in the same direction. So reflect, and then it's steps number 1, 2 and 3, rinse and repeat. Thank you for watching. These were my tips on how to feel more successful in your life.